Now I've been back for about 2 weeks now, and driving around, and I found that traffic is worse this year than last year. There's a surprise. And it's worse last year than the year before, and it'll probably be worse next year. And this is in spite of what I've seen are some significant road improvements, both in the city and in the township. That you can only imagine what it would be like without those improvements. And I ventured up into Willoughby, and it's really a beautiful area. It's ready for a tram system if I've ever seen one. Traffic is sort of like gray hair. You kind of know it's there, and then one morning you wake up and you go, where did all this come from? And I think that's where Langley is right now. You could build more roads and you're going to have more cars. So you really need to have a look at some other solutions. And you've got a real opportunity here to create a sustainable public transport system and a really livable community. The interurban line, for example, is a gift. There's other cities do pay a fortune for that kind of property, that kind of access. It would be a real shame if that wasn't taken full advantage of. And coupled with a tram system as a feeder route to the interurban, and also for local transport, you've really got a winning system there. So if there's any questions at any time, if something pops up, just feel free to interrupt. This isn't terribly firm or formal presentation. So just, I'll do my best to answer or get back to you with answers. So Melbourne's tram system, third largest in the world after, I think, St. Petersburg and Budapest. We have 28 routes, 1,900 stops, 8 depots scattered around the city, a little more than 2.5 million tram trips per week, 1,800 staff, and 500 kilometers of double track. And that is, that's 150 years old with all this stuff. The people who use the tram, over half are female, 43% are young. Most of the people have 1 or 2 cars already, so we're talking choice riders here. They're not forced to. 61% have a driver's license, 58% employed, 35% in school, and 70% shopping or personal or for work. And now, this was data gathered by the tram operator in Melbourne. So I'm not sure why else you would use a shopping, personal, or work. I don't know what else is left, but in any event, there's also a lot of people, 25% from households with no car. Now there's people that don't have a car because they can't have a car. Some of those are included in that. But there's also people like me for the first 3 years, I didn't have a car because I didn't need a car. I walked out of my house, walked 100 meters to the tram stop, got on the tram, went into the city, off the tram, onto the train, into the area where I work, and I'm done. I never even considered buying a car. So, unfortunately, there are good things and bad things about a tram. Because Melbourne's had them for 150 years, they've been electrified for the last 100. We think we've pretty well made all the mistakes that can be made, although each new project we seem to find new ways to mess things up, or new things to try. Some of them work, some of them don't. So hopefully you can learn from these. Some of the good things: drastically reduce non-productive parking lots. If you look out Willowbrook Mall, with all this space dedicated to the automobile. And my car has never bought anything sitting in the parking lot. It just sits there and gets the doors dinged, or maybe it'll get stolen. Something to worry about. I don't know what taxes are on a parking lot, but I imagine they're not all that great. I don't think you're making a fortune on parking tickets. Disabled access at tram stops there. We have not all of Melbourne's trams are accessible for disabled, but we are spending a lot of money there. As work is done, each one is upgraded to include ramps and tactiles on the edge. A lot of features that help out the disabled. That picture, I sort of picked that one because I thought it might look like downtown Langley. Might. That's what it could look like. In Fraser Highway there, the one-way section. So yeah, I'm hoping you can benefit. Yes,
yeah. Question?
Yes.
You're on. That picture you've got there, which you've obviously selected because you think it replicates downtown Langley. The right-hand side of the picture there is the tram stop. Is that correct? Is that bench there for people waiting for the tram?
Yes, yes.
And the yellow lines that are dotted down sides of the road give the pedestrian or other vehicle traffic the dimensions that the tram would be. In other words, the whole route is lined by those yellow dotted lines.
Yeah, this is actually Burke Street, which has been a pedestrian-only mall or tram-only mall for quite a number of years. So there's no road traffic on there at all. And in fact, this was before, it doesn't look like this now. The whole mall area has been redesigned, and the sidewalks throughout pretty much the entire length are the same as the floor height of the tram. So almost the whole street is one long tram stop. It isn't, there's one at either end, but yeah, but that would be typical. The yellow lines or the yellow marks are stand back of the yellow line as sort of the rule.
And what's the rule on a distance between tram stops?
Well, in the CBD, they were every block. A couple of years ago here at Trams, the operator, they get penalized if they don't provide on-time service, 95% or whatever it is. So they try to come up with ways of not being late. One of them was to remove 3 stops on Collins Street. Collins Street is another main road through town. There was a great outcry when they tried to remove them. They ended up negotiating through with the public transport users group and finally coming to an agreement that, okay, well, we'll lose this one and that one, and we'll keep the one up there. So